Hello there and welcome. Today we're gonna talk about the Rolex Datejust and Buckley dials. First, let us talk about the history of the Rolex Datejust. Back in the beginning of the 20th century, Rolex came to be and the brand started like a rocket into the first half of the century. In 1926, Rolex was the first brand to create a waterproof watch with the Rolex Oyster, and as you can assume, it was a game changer. The Datejust debuted 19 years after that, in 1945, already with the waterproof Oyster case in 18 karat yellow gold and its distinctive feature, the date window. Even in 1945, a date window on a watch was nothing special or new, since the first watch with the date, the Mimometer, was made in 1930. The advantage of the Datejust was that it was a nice package feature-wise, with its waterproof case and a date window, while still being affordable. From the beginning, the design of the Datejust was not far away from the watch we know today. It had a fluted bezel, even though it was more minimally fluted, and the Jubilee bracelet was there. Soon after the first release, Rolex also offered the watch in two-tone with a golden bezel, which again is close to how Rolex sells it today. Nonetheless, a lot of things changed over time, like the addition of the Cyclops lens, a jumping date instead of a dragging one, and a quick set function. Now as for the Buckley dial, I must make a confession first. When I first saw the Buckley dial online, I really didn't like it. The oversized Roman numerals just killed the delicate aesthetic balance of the dial. It was too much, and that not in a good way, like the Breitling Navitimer. These dials were never rarely produced, but since many people didn't like the design of the dial, it wasn't sold in high quantities. This is why today an old Datejust with a Buckley dial is one of the rarer pieces out there. Again, linked to that whole love-hate relationship of these dials, there was one avid supporter of the Roman numeral dial in the early days. John Buckley, a vintage watch dealer in the Diamond District of New York. Because of his support, the watch community started to call it the Buckley dial, and today most people know it by that name, even though it's not official. This piece is a Rolex Datejust 16014 with an acrylic crystal, a white Buckley dial, the caliber 3035 inside, and a fluted white gold bezel. The Jubilee bracelet has close to no stretch, and the watch in general is in great condition. As always with Rolex watches, it feels super comfortable on the wrist, and the caliber 3035 fulfills all modern standards. It's precise, has a quick set date, and from the 30 series onwards, Rolex calibers are hard as nails to kill, or even to find faults. Now we should talk about the Buckley dial again. As I said before, from just seeing the dial online, I thought that the balance with the big Roman numerals was off compared to other, more cleaner dials. When I finally came around to see the white dial with the black letters in real life, I realized that the letters were nowhere as big as I thought, and the aesthetic after all is rather balanced. It looks like one of those old classics you sometimes don't like at first, but you come to love after a bit, and now I even want to own one. Since Rolex watches are climbing in prices and declining in availability, it's hard to find a good Datejust. But if you're willing to invest months of searching and the money, it's worth it. You get a beautiful watch for a good price, and even though it's not limited, it is still a rare watch. Do you like Buckley dials? And would you buy one for yourself? I know I'm thinking about buying one right now, more than ever. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if it wasn't your cup of tea, tell me why in the comments down below.